ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is me, Dukect, here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com and other places, including if you hear the recorded version, how dare you? Why do you not listen live? The live places there. Not only that, but you also can call in. And if you can call in the live show, remember, phone number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. The call ID is, once again, is 92417. Yes, it is tonight, my friends. We're going to be talking about the NXT Takeover Chicago. And also, we're going to talk about Jinder Mahal and all the crazy things and all the good stuff with the entails of that. But first, we will be talking about Takeover Chicago and how that has, a lot of people are praising it, saying it's the best takeover ever, while some are like saying it was really good. There's some great matches there, this, that, the other. And, well, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about NXT Takeover Chicago. And there was some good stuff here. There were some decent matches. The first decent match was Roderick Strong versus the leader of Sanity, Eric Young. I still don't care for Sanity. I just don't care about him. Maybe because I haven't watched much of NXT as of late. I mean, I only barely watched takeovers, and I didn't even watch this live. I was just so disinterested. There's nothing really hot for NXT Takeover right now. They have great matches and great moments, but it just feels that there's nothing really giving me a reason to watch week in and week out for this show, the developmental brand for WWE. Sad to say that. I actually watched some of the NXT stuff. It was really interesting, back a couple of years ago, but now it just seems like it's just when the takeover format and we had all these other guys come in, the indie darlings and such, seems like it took a back seat. The story divisions, everything else took a back seat, and the only things that mattered were not takeovers. The only things that mattered were takeover shows, and the regular show became meaningless. And I hate this. I hate that because I honestly think shows like that. I mean, I understand takeover should be important. The pay-per-view should be important. But you have to have a weekly content. It has to have something there. They has to have something that is meaningful there. And I understand there are some meaningful moments there, but it just seems the show itself seems to be just spinning in place. There's no real hot young talent in the NXT developmental wings. It's just a lot of indie talent just taking over for one. It's one indie talent after another. And that is a real issue. Where are the young stars that are going to take over the WWE? As it stands now, the young stars are, the stars that over NXT are interested in taking over are 35 and old and up. Asuka's 35 years old. Bobby Roode's like near 40. There's not really much young guys in there. I mean, I gotta look see here. The authors of pain. I gotta see how old they are. We gotta look here. Looky here. Let's see. All right, let's see. Akim is 24 and Razor is 22. Seriously, these. The only young teams right now. The only young team that actually is really using developmental stuff at NXT is, it's the Authors of Pain. That's it. Everyone else on the NXT roster right now, the NXT Championship, is Bobby Roode, who, like I said, he's north of, he's 40 years old. Bobby Roode is 40 years old. Asuka is, I believe, 35 years old. Yes, he is 35 years old. and and if you want to talk the UK brand, the WK brand and such, Tyler Bate and such was 20, so he's young. So yeah, that's nice. But when the majority of your talent in featured are really old, the old guys up, that's a problem. That is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. And that to me needs you have to when you look at you gotta look at those guys like Tommaso Ciampa, Jinder. I won't get to that, but they were young. They're like 29, 30. You can do something with them. And the same thing for the Revival as well. So they still have a chance to impress. I mean, same as like I said, the American Alpha, Gable, Jason Jordan, still champ. They funny enough, the tag team division. Yes, the tag team division is the only ones that actually featured youngest talent. As like I said, the last 4 champions of not 4, but like 5 champions. The champions after the Vaudevillains was the Revival. They're like 29, 30. American Alpha, 29, 30, 31. DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa they're young too, and the Author of Pain. Like I said, Tommaso Ciampa is 30 years old, even though he looks like he's 40. He's 30 years old. The gray in his beard. And Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, is 29. So you could do something with them. Same as Occam and Razor. Occam's Razor. Cute, W-E. Real cute. 22 and 24. That to me is supposedly what NXT should be, grooming the next young talent so they can go into the main roster. What do we see in the women's division? You see Asuka, who's 35 years old, dominant. She doesn't need to be in NXT. She should have left NXT long ago. She's wasting time. And every you keep wasting her time, she's not going to be really much useful in the main roster. So bump her up already. Regardless, have her drop the belt, sure, but have her go to the main roster already. She's wasting your time in NXT. Bobby Roode, again, the only people who really do anything with the championships, like I say, they're old. They're past, and I like Bobby Roode. I love the Glorious, but it is something. It is a problem. It is a major, major, major problem that the WWE needs to fix and hurry, because I'm getting really just bored of NXT, and I think that's an issue right there, a really big issue that the WWE has to figure out, because you can't just depend on your youngest tag team division. And, where are the other people coming up via NXT? Because remember, NXT is supposed to be developmental, not a super indie. I think people need to be reminded of that. That right there. Anyway, let's get to NXT Takeover. Well, let's talk about NXT Takeover Chicago. It was a very fun show. You had some decent matches. You had like I said, Roderick Strong versus Eric Young. I thought it was a decent match. Roderick Strong won, and I think the feud's going to continue, and so on and so forth. Really nice stuff. Let's see. Just see what match came up. Yeah, because I watched it recently and getting a little off on. So let's see. Next up was Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate for the United Kingdom Championship. And wow, what a great match! I gotta say, this was probably very good. And someone right there just said it's the greatest match ever. It's really good, and it teeters on great. But there were some moments in the match that I did not like. I did not like it seems like when they hit the big move, a move that should finish it. I honestly wish that when you hit a move that is like comes out of nowhere and knocks someone out, like when Tyler Bate did that nice little, counter to the ropes. He did his whole body, he leaned in the body and then just came in and knocked someone out. That should be I really wish the match finished not there, but that would be really nice as a shocking finish, I really wish that moves like when you hit a big move like that, instead of just like, okay, we had to hit this move, that move to the finisher, which has, and even then, even if you do hit your finisher, it doesn't mean you're going to pick up the victory, which, well, takes the term finisher and just, makes it pointless. But that's another argument for another time. And I think I've already talked about that already. If you want me to talk about this more in a lounge or in a video or whatever, make a comment right there. Put something, shoot it in the comment section. Let's see what. Oh yeah, back to the Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate match. A really fun match. I just think the one thing I would, like I said, is just, the pace a little was too quick. The pace was fine. Just felt like it got to hit the big move and such. And I saw a lot of dives. But yeah, they kept him grounded though. And Tyler Bate is really good. I like Tyler Bate. I think this is, to me, his best match I've seen him in. For someone who's 20 years old, he's really, I honestly think he's better than most of the guys down on the main roster right now. Seriously, I think Tyler Bate, to me, is better than, and I don't care, and Pete Dunne too. Honestly, these two guys are probably better than most of WWE main roster guys. I'm not joking. I mean, honestly, if Pete Dunne was wrestling like, say, if it was Pete Dunne, who, honestly, I wish in this match, even though he was the villain here, I really wish he did more heel tactics, to distinguish himself, saying why he's such a villain and such. We saw him almost doing whatever it takes. I wish he could have done something like that and skirt the rules a bit. I think that would be really good, but, for his character. But I really think Pete Dunne, to me, and not only that, and Tyler Bate, both of them are better than most of the rest. And I say this with no hyperbole, and I mean this with my heart and soul. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are better wrestlers than Finn Balor. Yes, they're better wrestlers because again, they have, they are so they're better wrestlers, and the movesets are pretty cool, and quite honestly, you can actually tell the difference of their characters too. Heck, and one of the things I did like about in the UK tournament was his just, when Tyler Bate won this match, he gets into a zone and then he wins. He just backs up saying, "Holy crap, but did I win?" That to me is really so subtle type of that little stuff like that. Be done with his actions, make a name for all this type of stuff. He is trying to make a name for himself. He has that look. So honestly, I like the way this match out, and I think this is really good. And I highly recommend the match to everyone who has seen it. This is a very good match. Like I said, these two guys are really special. I expect them. When the UK show, I don't know when that's going to air. Hopefully it airs soon. I want to see something like this. But if it falls through, I wouldn't mind these guys. I think Tyler Bates will stay in NXT for a while. I think he needs to stay in NXT. Get a little more. I think he's really good, but give him a little more season to pace off a little bit better. But slow it down a bit. But I wouldn't mind saying Pete Dunne being in being somewhere at the WWE mid card for a while, chasing after, say, the Intercontinental U.S. title for something like that for Raw or SmackDown for maybe 1 or 2 years or something like that. Then graduate to the semi-main. I think he could do that. I think he can. I think he has that villainous type of character and such. And by the way, shout out to WWE bringing in Jim Ross at one time. Him and Nigel have really good chemistry. I like that. I really do. Next up is Asuka taking on Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. It was going to be Ember Moon, but Ember Moon got hurt because I think she took a really dumb dive off of the bottom rope. She injured her shoulder. So, yeah, Asuka faced it. It was just really, I don't know. It just seems like they're just padding time until she drops the belt to Ember Moon. So I expect her to do that probably around TakeOver Brooklyn, and then have Asuka, because I think that would just move her up to Raw or SmackDown. I wish SmackDown at this point, because SmackDown needs that type of because she'll probably be booked better on SmackDown, but she'll probably definitely go to Raw. yeah. So that's really so. Anyway, Asuka wins. I didn't care. Oh yeah, Pete Dunne won the United Kingdom Championship. It was really nice. Next up is the NXT Championship as Hideo Itami, who has been injured and hurt, 36 years old. Yeah, and Hideo Itami, um, yes, aka Kenta Kobashi. Let's see, yeah, he has been injured many, many times, and he hasn't really got really going in NXT. 36 years old, by the way, taking on the 40-year-old Bobby Roode for the NXT Developmental Championship. Really good stuff here. Some good stuff. There was some really nice stuff in the match. It started off slow, but it picked up the pace a bit. But I did like the selling from Roode. I gotta give a shout out to that. Roode did some really good selling of his shoulder. Selling of his shoulder. And honestly, I was like, wow, he's selling his shoulder. It's amazing because, it seems like wrestling has forgotten the art of the sell. They forgot about it. It just disappeared off the face of the planet for whatever reason. It pissed me off. And I was like, man, why can't they do that more often? Why can't they sell more? It's just, that's just me. I wish they could do more. But that's just but anyway, but yeah, decent match. Bobby Roode wins with it was, I like the ending, but Bobby Roode hitting one glorious DDT, two DDTs, still selling the shoulder and picking up the victory, showing that he has that grit, and so on and so forth. Well, anyway. Well, let's see. Now we get to the other. We're getting to the other. The real main event, ladies and gentlemen. The main event of NXT Chicago. The Office of Pain taking on DIY. This was I mentioned the NXT Championship, and holy crap, there was really good stuff here. Great match, really good ladder match. Akam and Razor have really proven themselves to be really good. I mean, seriously, they did some really good stuff here. They had some mistakes, but I think they are growing every day, being the dominant tag team. I know, so I'm surprised it didn't cheer. Paul did not get cheered in Chicago, no less, for his history with the Road Warriors and so much. So no cheers, no love for him. And then you have DIY come out with cheers and everything. But yeah, seriously, it was a great match, really good stuff. Both teams, chemistry. Love the fact you had Johnny Gargano pushing Tommaso Ciampa away so he gets a shot to the ladder. Really good. The Tommaso Ciampa doing a nice little German suplex on, I think it was Razor, one of the Authors of Pain, and they just came so close, but in the end, the Authors of Pain win, and then DIY walked back up the ramp, said yes, it's over, and then from out of nowhere, Tommaso Ciampa basically destroys Johnny Gargano, and thus starts his, I have no idea why he turned heel. I mean, dude did everything in the match just to save him. Maybe it's because of the CWC, but yeah, maybe that was the reason. Way back when. But honestly, I would think Johnny Gargano should have turned heel. I think he should have turned heel because I think Tommaso Ciampa would say, I sacrificed everything for you, and you failed me. I'm Johnny Wrestling. I'm better than you. And have him destroy him and just go after, say, the NXT Championship. Which I think this feud really needs, because as much as I like Bobby Roode, his title reign needs to go away. I think just get like another dude a transitional shot at the title. Then after that, he goes away, goes to the main roster, have a cup of coffee, W main roster for a couple of months, wins maybe the IC or United States Championship, but also you have Tommaso Ciampa win the NXT title for a while, and then at say NXT Takeover London, you have Johnny Wrestling win the belt, and you start off there. That sort of thing. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, I did enjoy NXT Takeover Chicago. I just hope the WWE realizes that they can't rely on these indie talents and for their main event and so on and so forth. They need to get those developmental guys, people from developmentals, those guys in-house. They need to start bringing people, raise them up in-house, and start doing wrestling, a lot safer version of wrestling. Instead of doing multitudes of dives and all that type of, ballyhoo and everything else, they need to build up the guys, and so on and so forth. They're getting up to the main roster. Because those indie guys, they might have that great flash and, the pop and serpent stance and so on and so forth. But the bodies are injured and hurt. And by the time they get to the main roster for maybe 4 or 5 months, boom, they're out. They're out for long periods of time. So you can't trust them. And then you have to rely on guys like Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman or any of the guys who are, well, I think Braun Strowman's hurt right now. But you know what I'm saying. Because again, for what y'all hate can say, Roman Reigns hasn't got hurt for a long while, and he can be durable. He's durable. I know he got hurt a couple years ago, but still, he hasn't been hurt since. So Roman Reigns is durable. And Finn Balor isn't. So what do? WWE, you make the right call. You get people who are durable. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, we're going to take a small little break, and next up, we will be talking a little about Jinder Mania. Jinder Mahal being the WWE Champion. What does that mean for WWE? What does that mean for everyone else? Well, we're going to sit back, relax, and I will tell you all about it after this little musical interlude. Let's play a little songs here. Let's do a little bit of, let's see some Super Mario 64 Portrait of Plumber from OCRemix.com. You can get the album for free, by the way. It's awesome. And you should go, let's see. You know what? I haven't played this in a while. Let's play Do Piranha Plants Dream of Electric Italians. The Piranha Plants Lullaby by Tuba Masgee and all that good stuff. We'll play that here live on Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening here on TalkShoe.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be right back right after this. Back. Thank you so much for listening to the Dukect Lounge live on TalkShoe.com. And also, you can find me on YouTube.com/DukecT, vid.me, under DukecT, under freakingawesomenetwork.com, and on manicexpression.com. Thank you so much for all those websites that hosting me, Dukect. And my WrestleMania review is coming. Hopefully, I'm almost done. I'm pretty much 50% rewriting the script for it. It is going to be, hopefully I can get this done at least by Friday. Man, I've just been busy writing, and man, it is a bit of a chore. But I think it's going to be a really fun review, and you guys are going to like it. But speaking of Mania, it is time for Jinder Mania. Jinder Mahal is your new WWE Heavyweight Champion. Yes, Jinder Mahal, the fun one of 3MB, is your WWE Champion. Who would have thought that? That this would have been the Jinder Mahal would have been the WWE Champion. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. And quite honestly, it's weird because Jinder Mahal bringing himself in here, he didn't do much, losing a lot on Monday Night Raw. Then became Rusev's tag partner because after take down the Dashly Enzo and Cass, because and that stuff. Then that broke up. And since then, Jinder Mahal has been built up as he has flown around, knocked out Finn Balor. After he knocked out Finn Balor, got drafted to SmackDown, lost to Mojo Rawley, and they said F it. They gave him the opportunity, and you never know. He actually, and I'll say this about Jinder Mahal, he does have that look of being a wrestler. He does, back knee aside, I think he has that big monster because he is like really tall. Seriously, Jinder Mahal is like really, really tall. And I think it is something. I think someone like Jinder Mahal, exactly, he's 6'5", 220 pounds. Dude's big. So he's not this old small guy. No, he's really big. So really tall. So yeah, I think it'd be something interesting. And honestly, his match between Randy Orton and Backlash was actually pretty good. I like some of his stuff here. It was really good. Both guys had some good chemistry, and I can't wait to see the rematch at Money in the Bank. And I think Jinder Mahal could be just a transitional champion. I think it could be something interesting to see for a couple of interesting to see how his character can grow. This could be a JBL type situation, or worse, could be like, say, Jack Swagger. He held the title, but yeah, he was not really important in such. He was a World Heavyweight Champion, but no one, blink if you missed it, no one cared about Jack Swagger. That could be here. And I think Jinder Mahal, with his new group, the Singh Brothers, I think they could actually do something with this. I do like him. I did like this celebration. Seriously, that celebration was great and colorful. And I'm wondering, why does it that the heels get these big celebrations? You had Kevin Owens with his big celebration. You had like Khali had a big celebration when he was a villain and a heel or whatever. When you're a heel, you get these big, elaborate celebrations. Heck, Alexa Bliss had this big celebration. You have these big celebrations as heels and villains. Why did the babyfaces doesn't have that? Maybe it says they're humble and humility and such, but I want to see big celebrations as babyfaces winning. Why not? Why not have a big babyface celebration of a guy finally getting top? I understand you want to have the guy humble, but it's not really that. It's interesting to see that, seeing how a babyface can have a big celebration. Why not? That'd be interesting. And I know, he's a jobber Mahal. He's going to destroy the legacy of WWE. Oh, no. I'm like, no. I'm going to do one thing I know people don't like. I'm going to wait to see where this goes. Because this is the first time I have been interested in SmackDown for quite a while. Randy Orton was not doing it for me as champion. I didn't care for Randy Orton as being WWE champion. And that lackluster House of Fail match didn't help matters. And I just think that him as champion, maybe you could get some better stuff out there. Because, hey, that means maybe you have some people chasing after the belt that could actually... that could actually build up, and actually you can build up. You can actually do something with these, the baby face and all that. Because I think you could do something with Jinder Mahal. You could do something with him, and you can hopefully for his character and his wrestling and stuff. And by the way, there's not much star power in the WWE right now anyway. So, and hey, this is a chance to really bring some money and dollars from India because they want to see him succeed. So be it. I think the Maserati or whatever, no, so the Maserati, he will dominate once again. Something that, hey, that means more people, more eyes in India. You want to be a global brand, you got to do some of these things. I know people might not like it, but hey, WWE wants to be a global entity, and these are the things you have to do. So, and besides, it doesn't hurt the fact you had some other people. Some people say, well, you got some people of color winning championships, and I don't mind that as long as they are good and they're ready to really build themselves up, to really put themselves, not just because of their color of their skin, but to see their actions and their ways to get the championship, to really build themselves up to be a champion, to really make them see like, yeah, this guy is black, white, or whatever, this guy deserves to be champion or whatever. It's because they earned their way up there. They actually, not earned the way, but you know what I'm saying? They actually, the WWE sees something in him, and they actually see if he can lead the company for a while. I think at the end of the day, Jinder Mahal will be a transitional reign. I see this title going back to AJ Styles by at least SummerSlam, and AJ Styles winning it, and then you see Baron Corbin, who will win Money in the Bank, and then take the title away from him. He gets into triple threats a while, and he goes back to a mid card, and maybe restarts the feud with Mojo Rawley after I think Mojo Rawley wins the United States Championship from Kevin Owens. I know that might piss some people off, but hey, Mojo Rawley did win the money, big win about the world, and it did get Gronk and all that type of stuff. So I think putting him in the United States title, and then when you have that return stuff, you can eventually have Zack Ryder turn on him, that sort of thing. That could be something interesting. Seeing how he became successful and he becomes bitter and everything else. The Long Island iced tea comeback story. That could be something of an interesting day. You could build that up too. There's storylines there. There's stuff there. You could do these things. But again, I could be wrong, and I could have these type of long. I could be like, oh man, you're wrong. Jinder Mahal will lose it right back to Randy Orton. And we go back to the blandness that is Orton for another 2 or 3 months, or 5 or 6, whatever. But hey, here's hoping that SmackDown can actually, when the championship is there, they can actually be, not just relevant, but also good, regardless who is champion, regardless who it is. The stories and everything else can continue. Because I do like Jinder Mahal's mic stuff, but subjective. I can see why some people might not like his mic skills. But overall, I am really impressed with Jinder Mahal. I liked him. Hopefully, this will continue. This reign of the Jinder Mahal, his Jinder Mania continues to have more people show up, more people to watch, more people watching, more people, more people getting into WWE, and that type of stuff as well. So that's my 2 cents on it. So anyway, let me know in the comments. See how I did right or wrong. Whatever. You hate me or whatever. I just want to hear the comments. Seeing how Jinder Mahal is going to help, hurt, or anything else. Because let's be honest here, people. The WWE, Jinder Mahal winning a championship is not going to, it's not killing the WWE. It's really is the lack of big stars. But then again, that's a podcast for another time. Because we are done for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching on the YouTube channels and Manic Expression and stuff like that. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.